I used to play soccer when I lived in England, but I didn't used to play netball. I used to be a very sporty person in those days. When I was younger, I would play a lot of sports. Hello everyone. Today we're going to look at used to and would to talk about repeated actions and states in the past that are no longer true today, that are no longer valid nowadays. Also, we need to look at the difference between them. Used to and would are very similar, but there is a difference. So are you ready? Let's go. So what's the difference between used to and would? And what do we use them for? So I'm talking about repeated actions that I used to do or that I did when I was younger. So it's actions that I did at a past time that is no longer true today. Would is the same thing. Now, as a modal, would has different uses. One of the uses is this one. It's to talk about a repeated action in the past that is no longer true today. So I can say, for example, when I used to go traveling in my 20s, I would backpack around several countries. So what's the difference between using used to and would? The difference is that when we use used to, we can use it with a verb that represents an action or a verb that represents a state or a stative verb. So for example, I used to go hiking in the mountains when I was much younger. So go is an active verb. I used to be a very serious student when I was in high school. Be is a stative verb. It talks about a state. It's not an action verb. But I can use used to with both. I used to go hiking and I used to be a good student. With would, the difference with that one is that we use would with an action or active verb, but we do not use it with a stative verb. When I lived in Paris, I would eat a lot of baguettes, but I cannot say when I was in Paris, I would be satisfied with my life. No, that is a no-no because I cannot use it with a stative verb. And that's the main difference between used to and would. Now, when you're using used to, the way we structure it in the sentence is that you will use used to followed by the base verb. Now, the base verb is the verb at the infinitive without the to. So, she used to visit her grandmother every weekend. So visit is the base verb. You can use it in the negative form as well. And when you use it in the negative form, you have to use the negative auxiliary verb did with the negative word not. I did not used to drink a lot of milk. So the used to follows the rule when you're using the negative form in the simple past tense. She didn't use, not used, use to play hockey when she was young. You can even use it as a question. For example, when you were young, did you used to eat a lot of junk food? You'll notice here that the used to doesn't take the D because I'm using it at the infinitive form because of the fact that I'm using the auxiliary did. Did you used to go swimming a lot when you were a child? So there you have ways that we use used to. With would, we use it as we would use most modals. So it's would followed by the base form of the verb. So I would go out every weekend when I was a teenager. Would plus go, which is the base verb. I would eat a lot of ice cream when I was a child. So there's another example. We don't typically use would in the negative form in this context. So we generally will not say, I wouldn't go to the cinema when I was a teenager. If you want to use it in the negative form, you're better off simply saying, I didn't used to go to the cinema. And remember also, we only use it with an action verb. So now maybe what we can do is try an exercise. I'm going to have 5 sentences that are going to come up on a board. And these sentences are missing the expressions used to or the modal would. At the end of each sentence, you're going to have the 2 target words to choose from. So choose the one that you think fits and fit it into the blank. And then I'll come back with the answers. So are you ready? So here we go. Now for the answers. Number 1. When I was very young, I would take swimming lessons. You can also say, I used to take swimming lessons. Number 2. I didn't used to travel a lot when I was a teenager. It's negative, so it's better to use used to rather than would. Number 3. I used to have 3 dogs and 2 cats. Have is a verb that shows a state, a stative verb. So I used to have, not would. Number 4. Did you used to visit Naomi when you lived in the city? And the last one. I would or I used to cut my hair very short when I played a lot of sports. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it useful. Have a good day or a good evening, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!